lastly, give the floor to the representative of the NADAM Foundation.
Hello, honorable delegates and esteemed colleagues. My name is Tasfia Ahmad, a youth representative from the NADAM Foundation based in India, and it is an honor to address the 69th session of the Commission on Status of Women as we assess the progress of the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action. This landmark framework remains vital in shaping gender equality efforts, yet young people today must translate its principles into our current reality. The UN has made strides in advancing women's rights. UN women have driven global advocacy since 2010, while Resolution 1325 ensured women's participation in peace and security efforts. In South Asia, India's Beti Bachao initiative has empowered girls through education and protection measures, demonstrating national-level commitment to gender equality. Yet, gender violations still remain. The UN has yet to make decisive actions on the crisis of missing indigenous women, the repression of women's rights in Afghanistan, the exploitation of female migrant workers in Gulf states, and more. How do we ensure our declarations and commitments are valued and respected as we forge new paths for progress? How do we ensure that our declarations are actually declarations and not transactions? The United Nations' current legal frameworks are weak, fragmented, and subject to political interference. The UN Charter's Sovereignty Clause, Article 27, limits intervention in policies that violate women's rights. The Security Council's veto power allows a few nations to block gender-related resolutions. The Convention of Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women does not eliminate anything, allowing states to ignore gender commitments, while UN Women lacks adequate funding to drive urgent reforms. We know the flaws of the UN, but we also know the solutions are doing nothing about it. We can strengthen enforcement mechanisms by establishing a global monitoring body to track compliance, issue penalties, and condition international funding on gender commitments. We can amend the Rome Statute of the ICC to classify gender-based violence as a standalone crime against humanity, along with other grave crimes like war crimes and genocide. We can restrict the veto power on gender-related resolutions through a gender justice override clause, and we can expand the roles of grassroots organizations and youth advocates in UN decision-making roles. There are solutions, and organizations like NADAM are proof of putting determination into action. NADAM has continuously uplifted marginalized women through education, legal aid, and leadership opportunities, and such initiatives require sustained global and domestic support and real action. Honorable delegates, gender equality is hindered by our weak enforcement, our political hesitation, and our outdated frameworks. Women and people beyond the binary are the backbone of progress, and we must reform human rights laws to actually be a right to exercise, not for show. Thank you, and Ramadan Mubarak.
Thank you, representative of the NADAM